She says the whole time you're treating time like it's your enemy. Time and linear time and space is what allows you in this human incarnation to orient as a spirit. It gives you a template that actually supports you and organizes the universe for you. Linear time and space is just a matrix that we drop into, but it doesn't define the entire experience. Hello and welcome to Soul Weather, and it's the August edition in 2026. And it's one of those days where I did get a download before the transmission, so I already know that I'm channeling the Tortoise again, and I'm told it's pronounced tortoise in English, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to remember that. So people have just told me recently. So anyway, the tortoise is coming in and really presenting a whole different aspect of her, or sort of a deeper aspect of her. And she's still working in tandem with the phoenix, so I wouldn't be surprised if the phoenix is going to join us as well. So let me just dive right in. So the tortoise is saying that what she's presenting herself as and the depth at which she's supporting us is increasing. Even though she's the guardian of water and we're in the fire season, we're being guided even more profoundly at a primordial level with this guardian of water. And she's saying that the reason it's going even deeper with it is because the phoenix is going deeper with its heart healing and deep cleansing of our heart space and of the dusty attic corners of our hearts. So the depth matches. So if you remember when the whale was with us, who was also guiding us through the water. If you remember, we had the surface whale, right, in the white water, and that rhythm echoing our daily lives. And then she kept saying, you're going to deep dive with me, and you're going to touch something like a tranquility and an inner peace. And, do that every day, like make a point so that when you're in the white water, I feel like the tortoise is following that rhythm, in the sense that up till now, it's like we've met the tortoise on land. Just like the whale at the surface, she was meeting us in our day-to-day. She was saying, be methodical, be strategic, right? She was being the coach for our day-to-day rhythm. And really, it's been incredible to come back to that guidance myself personally, but also I'm hearing about it through clients and students and friends. So the tortoise now is presenting in the ocean. We're meeting her now in the water element, in the ocean, and in the depths of the ocean. And knowing, like the whale, we have the rhythm that she has to come back up to the surface to breathe, and then can go deeper down. So let me tune into that energy in the water, or literally in the water. She says here is where you don't only meet a guide that supports you at that very compassionate level of meeting you in your life as a human, but she's meeting you in your life as a spirit. And so she's meeting you not just as the specific person that you are, but really what it's like to be human. And human in this realm. Human in the earth as we know her, in reality as we know reality, right? In the ride that we're in. And she's saying she's part of the creation team, is how I'm translating, right? Because I'm clairvoyant as opposed to clairaudient. So I'm choosing my words. I'm sure she'll tell me if I'm steering in the wrong direction. But she is connected to the creation of this reality. And remember last time she was saying, and maybe it wasn't in soul weather, but anyway, we were on a running mill, and she was saying, you know, if you keep going at the speed of the machine, you'll just flip over on your back. And she was saying, with me, you can slow down the machine, right? You slow down away from your nervous system, and you really come in with a level of sovereignty and a level of intention, a level of method and strategy to keep slowing down. Here she's saying, I've invented time itself. I'm the linear time and space guardian. And when you think about water and the water element, for instance, in so many traditions, and in the traditional Chinese medicine tradition, the water is, of course, the birthing place. But she's saying it's the birthing place of, in a way, this universe. And I facilitate that birthing, not only of the universe, but of you as humans. So she's saying, and this was coming really strong this morning, she says, the whole time you're treating time like it's your enemy. Like there's never enough time, you're running after time. You know, why is it now this time? And then it's, you know, it's not only the time of day, but, you know, half the month's gone by and then half the year's gone by. So we have a thing about time where we feel it's working against us. And what she's saying is, you try to be in this world without linear time and space, and let me, you know, report back on that. Why don't you? What that would be like. Because she's saying time and linear time and space is what allows you in this human incarnation to orient as a spirit. It gives you a template that actually supports you and organizes the universe for you in a sequence rather than everything at once. So she's saying, right, people, in a way, like the image I'm getting is, you know, her big shell is like the clock of linear time and space. And she's saying, people curse me all day long, in a sense. I am not getting a lot of gratitude on the time front and for the work that I'm doing to maintain this rhythm. The whole business of night and day and months and years is to help you orient yourself within this very complex experience. It doesn't limit you. It allows you to drop in a sequencing that actually helps you achieve clarity. It's one of our greatest allies, not our enemy. And with that, we get into the whole thing of course, once we're in linear time and space, she's saying you end up in the illusion of impermanence. The illusion also of birth, middle-aged, and death, or middle life and death. And apparently that's a whole big tragedy. But she's saying that part of it is where, this is where it gets trippy, is I help you bridge the overlap of linear time and space and eternal space. So your body and your experience in a body as a human is happening in linear time and space, but as a spirit, you are still operating in the same time zone as this turtle who knows, and Tortoise who knows that linear time and space is just a matrix that we drop into. but it doesn't define the entire experience. It defines an aspect of the experience. Talk about a yogi. She's like the yogi, right? So it's really taking that in. And she's reminding me about the four corners. We visited these four corners of our human body. We visited the two sitting bones, and we visited our two shoulders. And if you think of the shape, right, of the little paws coming out of the shell and those four corners. And if you think, we think of the four directions. In the tarot, the four is the number of the greatest stability, right? The four thing is, and the pairs, is a very powerful anchor. So she's saying, right now, when you're going into meditation, when you're just going into full presence and full connection with your body, and you can use the breath to do that, is keep going back to your four corners. Land on both sitting bones evenly and allow your shoulders to stack on your sitting bones. And stay with these four corners. That right now, that is a very, very powerful window into the healing space that she's holding for us. So she's saying right now, yeah, I hold time. It's a whole big job. And it's not your job. That is my job. But I also hold you. I hold humanity in this experience. I support you. And this is the whole business of the shell and the idea of having this refuge. We have a refuge within ourselves that we can always access, and particularly now, accessing that refuge is through this awareness of these four corners. And bringing our hips as in a state of evenness as much as we can, and our shoulders in a state of relaxation so that there's a sense of stacking the shoulders on top of the sitting bones. And she's saying this gives you access to this notion that if I'm there, not only holding time and linear space and time, but that I'm holding you, then why is everybody running around in fear? And why is everybody running around with a sense of not enough time? She's saying, I'm there. You can trust me. And with it, you can trust the organizing principles of this existence. It's not there to mess you up. It's all there to support you. So in a way, you can be in the shell, but you can also, if you think about it, land on her shell. You can sit on her shell. You can lie down on her shell. And in a way, that shell is, it really kind of receives your experience, your anxiety, your turmoil. So what she's saying here is she's saying, I'm so here. I'm here past the noise of your psyche, past the noise of your trauma, past the noise of your fear. And I'm here past the noise of urbanity and modernity. That noise and all that noise doesn't cut you off from me. That's an illusion. I'm here, she says. So right now she's saying, yeah, you can be with me in my rhythm, like I've been talking to you about for the last few months, but you can be with me. And my shell and that space creates your anchor. In the same way that the four corners anchor you as a human, you are then anchored via the tortoise. And the idea of anchor is not one that holds you back or will in any way thwart your momentum. It's actually going to support you, because then you will see and hear past fear, you will see and hear past trauma, and you will see and hear past modernity. And this is going to be really, really helpful in supporting the phoenix with its feather, who's going after every dust bunny that's available right now. It's not going to shake you up where you're not ready to be touched. But any little dust bunny that's hanging around in there and is loose, the phoenix is going to do that work. So the more you feel that support and feel the support of this, you can say, experience of life and how life is organized, the more you understand that this is all shaped as an ally, the more you're going to be released from whatever noise and dissonance and suffering that's lurking around, that's available for healing right now. And the tortoise says not only that, but if we can get past what she's showing me right now, if we can get past the whole trauma business and the whole element of fear and terror and insecurity and a sense of danger, if we can get past that, she says that the phoenix is actually going to really help you also at the point of view of unconscious biases, right? The stories we have, not only of ourselves right now, but of reality itself. So we're going past, basically what I'm hearing right now is we're going past the architects and survival phase, right? Because for months now we've been, right, clearing out architects of survival so that we're not limited by those perceptions. But right now we're being told we're also limited in our perception of reality itself. And so these are all unconscious biases that are getting in the way of our flow. And the thing is that while that could be trippy, right? Think of the tortoise. Like if you're going to do that, I'm kind of happy we're not with the whale doing that, you know, like going, whoa, okay, right? Like you know, everything slows down. So you have time, literally, right, to figure things out and to let things untangle themselves and let preconceptions and opinions and ideas dismantle slowly. So there's no hurry here, and that's the whole point. I mean, it's quite beautiful because the phoenix, right, is on a mission here. This fire energy, and I mean, the forest fires, I mean, it's not like it's literal, right? There's a lot of intense fire out there. And so it's like to stay with the water animal and to stay guided when you think fires are put out by water. Like it's really quite literal in terms of what we're seeing in the world right now, whether it's in Europe or now in Washington State and wherever, Ontario and wherever it's all hitting. It's such a massive issue right now. She's showing me in that sense to be grateful for water, right? To be grateful for having this particular guardian animal and water spirit being, you know, she knows she's needed. And because this fire is very potent and very yang energy, right? And right now what I'm getting from her is, in a way, she's the queen of the yin, right? She is the yin. So what more do we need than a slow-moving, self-assured, right? Guardian animal who's created the universe itself to kind of go, you know, fire, we're going to calm down. We're going to slow down. We're going to channel and orient ourselves to water at this time. In a sense, she says what we're witnessing is the battle of the yin and the yang. Like at its most fundamental axis, the water and fire axis in so many elemental and animist traditions, that is the axis. And she's saying taming the fire is not something new. And there I'm reminded of when I channeled when I was on that 14,000-year-old pyramid in Indonesia, in Java, at Gunung Padang. And when I was talking to a priest, he was the one who was managing fire, because Gunung Padang on the east side of Java is closest to one of the largest, most dynamic and vibrant and threatening volcanoes in the world. Right? Talk to that priest about, right, handling the yang fire. That was his entire mission, was to constantly be in that relationship so that fire didn't erupt. So she's saying this particular dynamic is one that is part of this reality, this dance, and sometimes this very dynamic dance between the two. And she's showing me that at soul level, or in terms of spiritual heart space, she's showing me this is where we're taming the fires that are within humanity, that create war and create oppression and suppression and ultimately war and death. So she's saying this water fire is, when you look at humanity, the excess fire is the one that's the most dramatically damaging at the broadest scale of all the elements. But she's saying that's built into the system, and she's right there holding that intensity and holding us in that duality and that experience in whatever way it manifests in our lives, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but also not only personally, but in our communities and in our nations and continents and the world. So the phoenix right now is revealing, right? Because if you think it's going after all the dust bunnies, you can imagine it's going after the dust bunnies of nations. It's, right, all the corporations, all the larger organisms also that influence our world. They're going through the same thing as well. So these are also, if you want, living entities that we've created within this matrix of linear time and space. And so it's happening basically at the personal level and in our relationships, but also at the systemic level. So when you feel swept away by the wind and the smoke and the fire and the drama, in whatever form that is presenting for you on any given day, keep going back to your four corners. Keep going back to that core stability to know that the system, that experience itself, actually does make sense, even if in that moment you're thinking it doesn't. There's an underlying logic. And that's where, again, we're back to dropping past modernity, right? Past the noise of academia, past the noise of politics, past the noise of all of that. And she says, within yourself, you have that channel to touch me, to be with me, and to be on my shell. And if you need to, you can come and hang out inside as well. I'm gonna hold you. I welcome you. It's absolutely unconditional. So this is where we touch that feeling when within this experience that we're in and this reality that we're in. And through her energy, it's to ultimately touch compassion. The compassion is there. And if you can feel the compassion of time itself and the compassion of I'll call it the universe itself. If you can feel and start tapping into the fact that that is the orchestrating energy behind it all, I think then the sovereignty and the personal power we have to put out whatever fires we need to put out will be there. Yeah, it's the fireman hose, right? Like she's got the hose, and she's got the hose on ready, and she's got enough water pressure to deal with it all. So it's that image of that resource and her capacity, which also what she's showing me too is for any of you who are really concerned about the planet Earth right now, and you're trying to take care of the planet. She says, let the planet also take care of you. Remember how much the Earth gives you and how much, right, linear time and space offers you. Remember that abundance. And right, when you think about it, I'm sure what's coming in right now is by August 21st, we're going to be shifting to the earth element. So I think this is what she's predicting here is just know we're moving toward that earth element. We're moving when the gardens are yielding so much of their harvest already. And we're moving into, right, the element that governs healing. So we're in the countdown with the fire element in the northern hemisphere. And there's a feeling to, now that I'm seeing her in that light is when you think of her shell, in a way, that shell is the earth, is our planet, and is this particular experience and how nature is organized and the logic of nature and the logic of this whole environment, which will include our psyches and our spirits and our bodies. So the feeling she's giving me right now is to remember that, sometimes our bodies do get sick, sometimes we're injured, sometimes, right? And then the idea is to not get so frustrated that everything is breaking down, but rather to show up with love. But at the same time, with a kind of gratitude, to never lose sight of that sense of gratitude that one has for this organism that you get to live in. And the same thing when when the planet is shaking up and where there's earthquakes and fires and where there's intensity at that level, is to still have gratitude, like that earth is not the enemy. It's not the threat. To keep remembering that abundance and how ultimately, while you're still alive, the earth is always supporting you. Every meal, you know? Yeah. So see if you can tap into this beautiful tortoise, to tap into this feeling that her back is like the cosmos and all the galaxies put together and all the various galaxies and the stars and the planets, including this planet. And see if you can connect to the magnitude of that orchestra of life. And then come back to your four corners and orient yourself via your four corners within that massive orchestra of life. To be with the magic of that. The way I'm experiencing it right now, it's like the miracle of that. So slow, methodical, strategic, thoughtful, and moving toward the earth element, moving toward that profound sense of trust in existence itself and how you fit into this web of life. Namaste.